Today, I bought the LEGO Star Wars 2022 Advent Calendar. This set 75340 is a $45 set coming with 7 minifigures, coming out in 2022, and is the Advent Calendar for this year. Now, in today's video, we are going to be doing a full review of all of the builds and minifigures. With that said, I'm going to ask you all to hit that subscribe button if you love LEGO Star Wars, and we're going to hop right on into the box design and then take a look at the figures, builds, and give you my full thoughts on it. Now, first off, here is the box art for the Advent Calendar. We have loads of different things featured. We have the little snowy Endor background with a little bit of the summer vacation special this year. We have a little gold bow tie that says 24 gifts. Obviously, this is very holiday themed, very snow centric, and that is all very cool. Now, twisting this box around, you get a good look at the back, and the way that these Advent calendars have worked for over 10 years now is basically you just cut open these things, and you have a little, basically, play mat for which you could play on all of the builds you get on the actual platform, which is really cool. As for the wallpaper, we do have a little Santa AT-AT, which is kind of funny. You move down, and they're building a snowman, which is really kind of adorable. I love the little Hoth trees and everything. It is really neat. And then on the ground, of course, you do have the little snow playmat. Obviously, this year, the setting is Endor. So with that said, we are going to get looking right on into the builds. Now, first off, we have the minifigure selection, and it is fairly solid this year. Now, first off, we do have a battle droid, which is iconic, and they're almost always in these Advent calendars. We have a snowtrooper, very common this year, still cool figure. We, of course, have the clone commander, which of all the clones they could choose to do, they do this one, and it is frustrating beyond belief. And yeah, so we got him. His difference from his previous two is he comes with a short pistol this time. That is it. He comes with the clone face, obviously become very well known recently. We have the Luke Skywalker. This comes in a micro fighter that was released last year. You know, just a solid figure. You know, you twist the face around, and he is obviously usable in one of the builds, and you'll see that in a bit. Then we move into the more exclusive figures for this. We have 3 of them technically. Technically, it's 2 and astromech. And first off, we have Vader. This is based off of the LEGO Star Wars Summer Vacation Special, where Darth Vader did wear this outfit, of course. He does come with a face print. His main exclusive feature is going to be that torso print. It is just a little twin suns, with one of them being the Death Star, and some nice beach. And on the back print, this is my favorite. It is Scarif Beach, and you have Director Krennic's a whole like little thing there. Look at that. That's awesome. You have obviously the little, you know, base on Scarif. That's amazing. The designers must have had a ton of fun with it. And you get arm printing, which is always amazing. And you get the little slippers, and you, of course, as his accessory, you do get a little beach ball, which is actually kind of nice. You know, you just, you know, bounce around with that. Then we have 3PO and R2. They had a lot of fun with too. R2 is cool because you actually swap him around and use him on another droid. He comes with a little Rebel logo there, and he comes with C-3PO's face too. And then on C-3PO, you do get a little R2-D2 print. Now in 2000, I believe 20, maybe, yeah, 2020, we did get one with Poe and Vader in sweaters, so that is a continuation of that. And then I guess you could count this. This is our only real seasonal build for this entire calendar, which is mildly disappointing. I like the seasonal builds. This is our Santa figure 2, I guess. It is a Santa Gonk droid. Love the Gonk droids. They're amazing. It's alright. It's a little goofy feeling, obviously, but, you know, it is a Gonk droid. I do like the way they did the beard and everything. The feet are funny. And yeah, that is about it for the figure selection. In terms of figures, it is probably not the best one. I still think 2020 might hold that, or 2014, or one of those years. But this is still a very solid selection with over, you know, 2 exclusive figures. You get 3 exclusive figures, which is very nice. Also, the way we are going to be featuring builds is in categories like prequels, originals, movies, all that sort of stuff. So let's go. Now, first off, here are the Republic-era builds. This is pretty much everything prequel-related. First off, we do have a Tri-Droid, very nice. Obviously, his little companion there is the Battle Droid. That's a very cool thing. Hopefully an indication at a potential future LEGO Star Wars set. We have an Acclamator-class assault ship. This is obviously based off of the Clone Wars-era ship. This was in Attack of the Clones. Very exciting. Again, hopefully indicates a future set. Alongside this one, which I hope indicates a future set. This is a Republic gunship. Obviously goes with the Clone Commander. Very cool little build. This is our gunship for 2022. always very exciting. Of course, just a nice little build. It's nice to actually get it acknowledged in Micro Fighter, micro form. No Lego knows about it. Always good. And then, of course, we do have the Bad Batch shuttle here. I think this one probably has a little bit of the goofiest head. It was probably a little on the large side, especially compared to, say, like the set proportions. But it is still a neat little build. Would I have liked to have seen, say, a character from the Bad Batch in this set? Yeah. I think Hunter probably would have been more appropriate than some of the other guys. But either way, this is probably some of my favorite builds from the set, and we will be ranking builds, of course, from worst to best. With that said, let's get into our more original trilogy era sets. Okay, so here are the, I guess, say, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi style builds. Obviously, it would not be a advent calendar without a Hoth set. There we have two builds right here combined. This is one of the bigger advent calendar builds I've seen. This is basically the Wampa Cave where Luke cuts himself free. Comes with a little bone, a little area for him to hang. Very nice. You also do, of course, get the Snowtrooper here, so I figure I'd throw him in. We have a little AT-ST here. We did get a lot of AT-STs this year. I believe this is the 5th and final one, hopefully. Again, micro scale. We already got a macro scale and a junior scale, and oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. We also have the Rebel dish turret, which is a very nice build. It's mildly detailed. And then we, of course, have the other Rebel turrets, which are very cool. I thought this was a really nice done build. We also, in terms of vehicles, have the B-Wing Starfighter. It can fold up, nice and dandy, very nice build. Very small. You have a TIE Striker, which I think looks a little goofy. I'll be honest, not a huge fan. I'm not overly critical of these things, but it's all right. And then we also do have this little bunker here. Not that this necessarily relates to the Empire or anything, but you do get a little mouse droid here. He has a little hole to go through. You do have a little stud shooter, so you can have a trooper sitting here and fire off studs. And you do get some replacement studs too, making for an interesting system to say the least. Overall, these are not my favorite builds in the set for sure, but they're alright. Now here are what I essentially am going to be calling the Sun and Fun Pack, with by far my favorite and most creative build. This is Darth Vader's castle, which we did get in an advent calendar 2 years ago, but this time it is a sandcastle variant, because he's like, it's in theme with the summer vacation. He comes with a shovel and a bucket. Oh, it's so great. I love it. And then also moving over here, we have the little speeder. I do not recognize the name, but they were featured in the Mos Eisley Cantina set. Small little build, which is kind of nice. We also do have Luke Skywalker's Skyhopper, which obviously was pretty prominent in Kenobi, so it's kind of nice to see that here. We also do have over here a little honor of the UCS Luke's Land Speeder. It's a Luke's Land Speeder. Obviously, it comes with little studs in there resembling C-3PO and Luke Skywalker, which were the figures in the set. We also do have a Moisture Evaporator. Can't have Tatooine without a Moisture Evaporator. And then we have the droid, which we previously discussed. Now, first up, this is my ranking of the figures from best to worst. Obviously, not saying that the battle droids are bad. They're just, kind of mediocre picks. And then, Clone is pretty middle of the line. I'm happy we got a Clone at all, which is why he's pretty much dead center right there. And, 7 figures overall, not bad for a $45 set. However, the build's obviously, not $45, that's for sure. Starting off, I just want to showcase we're going from like the worst to best builds. This by far right here is the worst build. It's really dinky looking, not good. You move your way around. This is just kind of lazy. This barely resembles a B-Wing. I just don't think this one looks good in particular. You have the Land Speeder there just because I feel like we get them every 5 minutes in these advent calendars. Voltage is not very good. This one I thought was just kind of weird for an advent calendar build, and then it gets better with the Bad Batch shuttle. It gradually gets nicer, you could tell. Some I just enjoyed the building techniques of. I thought this looks really, really nice. The turret, this guy's just kind of okay. All the builds are, nothing to, die over. We have the gunship, obviously, which a lot of people would hope I would put first. It has its problems. I'm not a fan of the way they did these, especially. This guy's a cool build. I like him a lot. He'd be first if not for the creativity of number 1, and I honestly wish advent calendars were made up of mostly these. Just fun little creative builds, like a Vader's Sandcastle. Now, let me just say right off the bat, this is not the best advent calendar ever. I think there were better ones in 2014 and in 2020. I think last year's was probably on par with this. This is better holiday figures. And as for the rest of the builds, they're just kind of alright. Not the best advent calendar by a mile, but it is one for the books. And I am certainly mildly disappointed at the inclusion of C-3PO and R2-D2. Just simply because we have already gotten them in holiday attire once, and I think we could have gotten some new characters that have yet to be made in that attire. which is why it's so disappointing. We could have gotten Ahsoka, or Boba Fett, or like someone, Obi-Wan, literally anyone. Just this was probably the least exciting possible picks they could have done, and they did them. With that said, let's get into more of my full final thoughts. Anyway, basically, the problem with the set, that goes without saying, and pretty much has always gone with saying, but this year especially, is this set is dramatically overpriced. Advent calendars were always overpriced, that goes without saying. $40 was a stretch back in the day, but $45, oof. I know inflation and everything, it is a very hard sell for $45. You're getting 7 figures, absolutely, but that's the only draw of the set. You're not getting one cohesive build, and even if you were to add all these pieces up together, this is not $40 worth of build. I mean, look at the piece count. It's 329 pieces, which, that's a hard sell. And I think, you look at this, you could buy 2 battle packs, and you still would be cheaper. You buy 2 Snowed for battle packs, you get 8 figures right there. And then you're getting basically equivalency in build and in figures. It's kind of the problem with this set. But you are getting a little knick-knack every day, so, over time isn't awful. But basically what you're going to be paying on this thing is you're going to be paying, very close to almost $1.50 per build at least. And, you have to look at it and be like, is this each build worth $1.50? Some days it might be with the figures. Other days it might not be with pretty much everything else. But either way, with that said, I hope you guys all enjoyed this review. I will see you all in the next one. Remember to peace out, stay awesome. 7 out of 10. Wait. I can't believe you guys were just about to click off this video without liking it. What's the deal? Why'd you do that? Don't do that. Click that like button. I'm still waiting.